Welcome everybody back to the Buds Podcast, episode 27. And over this past weekend in sports, hasn't really been much newsworthy topics. Some stuff's going down in Orlando with the NBA. Some MLB stuff's floating around. No real big newsworthy topics for us to talk about. Something that came out right before we started recording this though is that in the NFL, which is going to be our main topic for today, the Washington can't say Redskins anymore. The team in Washington, they are dropping their current nickname, the Redskins, and they are changing to a name yet to be known. We discussed this in, I think, last Monday.
Got to be the Renegades.
Yeah, I'm thinking realistically, it's going to be Warriors.
Charlie
And I think we already made their logo.
Yeah, we did. It was in the thumbnails. The goat.
Yeah, I think they need to contact you, Joe. So
for me to make the logo.
But that name, they're saying that it could come out earliest today, Monday morning or Monday afternoon, Monday night, somewhere from today, Monday till I don't know when. It could be end of the week, but it's coming out this week sometime. Now, with there being no news, we always go back and forth when we're just sitting here talking about who are the most overrated players in the NFL.
It's a topic brought up frequently.
And we always get in little arguments. So like we did for our NFL awards, we all made our own list. We did top 5. Didn't want to get too crazy because truly enough, it's really hard to judge who's overrated because you can make a case for every single player for them being overrated. So we just took our top 5 most overrated players, compiled them into our own list, and we're going to go from 5 to 1. And I think we should each say it and then give our defense behind it. Or should we each say it and then go back?
Yeah.
We'll do how we did last time.
Yeah, do we did
for number 5.
Okay. So we'll do like how we did for the awards then. Yeah, we'll do how we did for the awards. We'll each say who we had, and then we'll go youngest, oldest, and then after the fact, we'll go back, we'll defend our argument, have our little back and forth, and then move on to the next one. So I think we're going to start off with Joe then, with his number 5.
All right, so at number 5, I have James Conner. Interesting.
Okay. Nick? Or Ben? Sorry.
I have number 5, Trey Flowers.
Okay. I have AJ Green at number 5.
Number 5, I got Cam Newton.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna go. Nick.
I'm really wanting to hear yours, Joe.
I mean,
why?
I know he only played 10 games, but last year he played 12 games and had 500 more. No, he played 2 more games, had 500 more rushing yards. He had 8 less TDs in 2 less games. He had 30 less first downs. He had only 4 yards a carry, which was like I think 20th in the league or something like bottom half. Way less yards a game. And 6 less TDs, obviously, in 2 less games, but still, I believe he definitely took a step down from last year. And, yes, there's mine.
And you still think he's just getting overhyped for it?
Yeah, I do believe so.
I honestly, I think he's a quality running back. Maybe not franchise caliber, but he's a good everyday starter for the Steelers.
I mean, yeah, and his yards per touch of the ball went down 0.6, which isn't that big, but...
Which isn't terrible. That's not terrible.
I mean, yeah. A
surprise number 5 there.
Yeah, I just felt like
him.
Everyone was like when Le'Veon left, James Conner is gonna be and Antonio Brown, James Conner is gonna be like and Juju's gonna be the leader of the offense, and I don't think so, in my opinion. So
okay, so I think we'll move to Ben.
Let's go to Ben.
I put Trey Flowers because first, I feel like I don't have his exact
I think it was 11 last season.
His exact contract,
but contract.
I know it's a pretty big contract.
It was a hefty. I think it was like
I know that he had a lot of hype when he was a free agent. And looking at his stats, last year he only had 7 sacks, which is not that great for the contract that he has. And also, even before he signed the contract, since 2016 when he started starting games, he never got over 8 sacks in his career. He's never gotten over 8 sacks in a season.
mean,
Something
every Patriot player that's a free agent always ends up getting overpaid.
Yeah.
in something because it happened with Chris Hogan when he went
And
to the
Kyle
Panthers.
Van Noy this year.
Yeah.
Something I have to say about Trey though is that he had 7 sacks, but Detroit does have a very deep defensive line. So if they're doing a lot of rotating, then that could be. But I see your case with him coming. He did have a big contract, and for him only getting 7 sacks, it was.
He
Oh,
has
yeah.
higher expectations.
Yeah, he was definitely held to higher expectations. So I guess I'm up. AJ Green, he
This I
hasn't
found
played
interesting because I was about to
hasn't
say.
played fully since 2018. He had the opportunity to come back last year on multiple occasions. Chose not to. Said he was rehabbing. I think he could easily came back.
He's like another player you have on this list.
And when he did play in 2018, he played 9 games. He had 46 receptions for 694 yards.
Pretty good.
That's decent, but
Pretty good.
I feel like over these past 3 years, he's been very, very hyped up. And yeah, he's injured, but he keeps he's not showing anything. And people are saying he's going to come back this year with Joe Burrow coming, but I mean, I don't know. I don't think he's what
Tyler
he
Boyd
once
over
was.
AJ Green.
I mean, that's probably why
Yeah.
they drafted T. Higgins.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's why they did. And I mean, I could see them dealing AJ Green and getting a good pick from him because
I don't
he's
think
not
they'll get a
the player
good
he
pick
used to
for
be.
him. I think they'll get like a mid-round
He'll
pick.
get a
for
second
him.
Depending how
rounder.
he does this season if he
Yes.
plays.
Honestly, 2nd to 4th round pick. They might even get like a 3rd round pick or something.
But that's why I picked
That's
AJ Green.
yeah, that's decent. Nick, Cam Newton.
See, I picked Cam Newton. This is for like the Patriot fans that like when they sign him think he's all of a sudden MVP Cam again. Like if you look at his last 4 seasons, all his completion percentage, everyone the Patriot fans roast Josh Allen for his completion percentage, but Cam Newton's has been worse the past 4 years. And all of a sudden, he's just getting hyped for no reason. I mean, if
Yeah.
Bill Belichick can somehow change his game, then good
Different
for
story.
Cam. But he's just getting way overhyped right now. He's not the same Cam Newton as that 2015.
Yeah, I don't. I
I
feel
agree.
like he can make a stride back because he has been doing a lot of work this offseason. But I feel like to say he's going to make the jump back to MVP Cam is a bit of a stretch. And the fans are overhyping him when I feel
they
like
think they got MVP Cam.
Yeah, they think they got MVP Cam when I don't think they actually did.
It's gonna be tough for Cam because he's replacing Tom Brady, so he has a lot of
That's
He
the
has
other thing.
very
he has a
big
lot
shoes
to live
to
up
fill.
yeah.
Very big shoes. So we good for 5s there?
That's all our number 5s.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Joe, you can start off with your 4th player on your list.
All right, so I eliminated my 4th player, so I'm moving number 3 up to number 4, which is Marcus Peters.
Wait. So you don't have a number 4?
Well,
Hmm?
okay, so no, Marcus Peters is number 4, and then I will be putting someone in eventually throughout this video. So for the other
Okay.
numbers, for number
Alright.
3 and shit.
So
Yeah.
Ben.
Number
I
4 is
put
Marcus Peters.
also Marcus Peters.
Whoa.
And you
I
told me.
switched it up a little bit. I switched
Lied.
my 3 and 4 just right before. Le'Veon Bell, number 4.
Yeah.
He's not. No.
And the number 4 I picked is Xavier Rhodes.
Oh, that's
That's a good one. That's a good one.
All right, so Joe, we'll let you go
Okay,
ahead.
Marcus Peters is bad. Okay, let me put it this way. He was 44th in yards allowed with 660 on 71 receptions. But that's not the biggest part. Where was the stat I was looking at? I lost it. Where was this? I clicked off of it. Yards per reception allowed, 9.3. Yards per target, 5.9. He was regarded as probably one of the top safeties. I think Marlon Humphrey's honestly a better safety. I mean, a cornerback. I keep saying safety. Cornerback on that team. That's just my opinion. I think I had something else here. Yeah, I mean, that's all I really have to say about him. I mean, that just yards per reception really caught my eye. And his passer rating allowed was only league average. So
See, I feel like Marcus really fell off after he left the Chiefs. I feel like the Chiefs kind of fumbled his potential with trading him to the Rams.
and another stat.
I mean, the Chiefs easily could have made him into an All-Pro corner. He was an All-Pro corner.
I mean, his rookie year was really good. 8 interceptions.
He was Rookie of the Year, yeah.
So he did do better on the Ravens than the Rams.
Yeah,
I-
100%,
Yeah.
100%.
He'll
And
definitely revive his career on the Ravens. They'll help him.
But
And
I
I
think
think
that for
was-
the amount.
I mean, according to efficiency ratings, he was
Ben.
ranked in coverage rating 38th coverage cornerback in
Not
efficiency
bad.
rating. I mean, yeah, I'm saying
But
he's
he's
regarded as probably like a top 10. I mean, yeah, he probably is top 10. Efficiency rating is like a bunch of different like stats and like numbers
He's
divided
a-
by a bunch of stupid shit.
With that number right there, 38, he's a solid number 2 corner.
Yeah, 100%.
So not bad.
I
you
mean,
got
the
anything else,
Ravens-
man,
the Ravens-
Marcus, Bubba?
The Ravens have two
I
number
mean,
2 corners.
Only 5 interceptions last year. I know that's not like horrible, but I just feel like people overhype him a lot. Like they make. I think the Ravens defense is good, but a lot of people make like Marcus Peters the reason that the Ravens defense is good, and I don't think he's the reason. I think that he's helping, but I don't think that he's the
The
main
big
reason.
thing about Peters, he had like the most pick sixes last season.
But yeah,
Mm.
I
Which
mean,
are
yeah,
the biggest highlights that people see.
yeah.
Okay, so I think it's time for me to address Mr. Le'Veon Bell.
I
And I want your arguments after.
Oh yeah,
I
yes,
talk.
sir. Please.
So
Give me-
going into the 2019 season, Le'Veon Bell was labeled as the Jets' savior. He was going to come in. He's going to be the star of their team, lead them to the playoffs. He came in, started. What do we have here? 15 games,
I don't know what headlines you're
245
looking
touches.
at.
789 yards. His first year, he hasn't gotten over 1,000 since his third year in the league, where he only played 6 games and he had 556 yards that year.
With like a top
He had
5 offensive
400
line as well. Sorry, go on.
But still, I mean, if you're a good player, if you're hyped up like he was, you should be able to do good without a good offensive line. You should be able to make the cut.
We're talking about
Very
Le'Veon.
hyped up.
We're talking about Le'Veon without a starting quarterback for 4 games, and he got fed the ball 33 times one game, and they knew they were going to run every single time.
We're talking about a running back that wanted wide receiver and running back money.
Yeah,
That's what we're talking
100
about.
mil.
Yeah, we're talking about a guy that won 100 mil.
And he
That's
didn't
what
get
I'm
that.
saying. That's why he is an overrated player. Is
I mean,
because he came in saying, I want wide receiver money. I want running back money. I want $100 million contract. And then he shit the bed.
I mean, yeah,
I think the Steelers O-line were the reason he
Oh,
was good in Pittsburgh.
100%. And
They had
I
the
think
best O-line at the time.
And I think Le'Veon's obviously going to rush for 1,000 yards here because the line went from top 3 worst in the league to close to average. And he rushed for 780 yards, with probably like the top 3 or the bottom 3 worst offensive lines in the league by far. And it changed almost every game, which is not really good for a quarterback and a running back to have your offensive line change every game. It's not chemistry at all. But I mean, yeah,
No.
obviously that was a very bad season for him. I will give you that.
No, the only reason I have him as an overrated player is because of how hyped up he was going into the season.
I don't
how
argue
he
with
didn't
that.
do good coming out of the season. So,
Mhm. Yeah.
Nick,
That's honestly not that bad, honestly, because it's a very big difference from his 2017 season.
We done?
Yep. Yes, I am done.
Yeah,
That actually
well,
wasn't as
okay.
outrageous as I thought.
I picked Xavier Rhodes because last year he was I think one of the worst corners in the league, and the Vikings a few years ago they signed him to like I think it was like a 6-year. What was it? Yeah, 6-year contract, like $78 million, and he had $41 million guaranteed. And like last year, he got burned so many times, and somehow he made the Pro Bowl. I don't even know how he did that.
When?
I don't even.
Last year?
I didn't even think he made the Pro Bowl.
Yeah,
What?
and and all these stats, he's like in the 60 ranks and all these, and the Colts signed him, only a 1-year, $3 million deal. That's a smart contract, I guess, a prove-it deal to see if he can go back to how he used to play.
No, that's really smart about the Colts, honestly.
yeah, like just the last few seasons though, he's been really bad. Like last season in coverage, he allowed 81% completion percentage against him and allowed 4 touchdowns. So
I mean, he's not a good corner whatsoever anymore.
he fell off big
He
time.
fell off hard. He was up there, but then I don't know what happened to him. Okay, so moving on to 3 on our list.
Hot take potential. J.J. Watt.
This is where it gets in. Okay.
This word's
Wait,
gonna get
you said
toxic.
J.J. Watt?
I have J.J. Watt.
Okay.
Oh, this is
Ben?
gonna get tough.
I have Jimmy Garoppolo.
Josh Norman.
Wait.
Okay.
Okay.
Number 3, I got
Go ahead and do it.
Mr. Casper the Ghost, Sam Darnold.
He's ranked as like the 20th quarterback in the league, son. I didn't think we would ask.
I think that's a little bit overrated right there.
Yeah, it's.
Yo, go ahead.
Okay, I say J.J. Watt because in the last 4 years he has played. He's played half of his games, or I think less actually. No, he's
Okay,
played-
well, he's also been injured a lot.
Well, yeah, which makes you overrated. I mean, he's still regarded as one of the best defensive ends in the league, and he's been injured way too much. I mean, he had 4 sacks in 8 games last year. Obviously, when he is healthy, he has very good seasons. But he was not healthy last season, and I just don't think he'll. I mean, injury prone people keep on being injury prone. They don't, keep
But,
on staying healthy.
see,
So I
Joe,
believe.
That stat you just said there backs up him being one of the
Not
best in the
overrated.
league.
Yeah, when he's
you
healthy,
said
he's
you-
good.
Yeah, no, you're
Yeah,
saying
yeah,
when he's healthy,
but-
he's good. And
I will
obviously
say
he's
one thing.
Yeah, but
I
yeah,
will
but
say one thing.
he hasn't been healthy in 1 out of 4 seasons. That's not very good.
I will say
Go ahead,
one
Ben.
thing. That when I was watching the Bills versus Texans wild card game, he was barely on the damn field, and ESPN would not get their cameras off of him. You would have thought that J.J. Watt was the damn quarterback of the team. Like literally, they would not stop showing J.J. Watt. It was annoying. I feel like he's overrated on ESPN, but
I mean, no, I just still feel like he's regarded as like a top 5 pass rusher in the league, and we haven't seen enough of him. I mean, we're saying 2015 Watt and like to 2012 Watt. Yeah, he's the best defensive end in the league. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like now, until he is healthy and proves another season, I feel like he is not the best or that great of a defensive end still.
I guess I kind of understand that.
Yeah,
Because, Watt has a $100 million contract.
Exactly.
And he can't stay on the field.
So you're not paying for 1 out of 4 seasons to be hurt. I mean, or 3 out of 4 seasons he's hurt. You're not paying for that.
Yeah, I understand. I mean, I understand that now that you kind of broke it down. Makes a little bit more sense.
That was like a quick one that hopped into my mind there because I knew he's been injured the past couple seasons.
Yeah. All right. So
go.
Ben.
Ben, I had Jimmy Garoppolo, but then that was my number 4.
I have Jimmy Garoppolo because I want to see what he ranked. He had a lot of yards, but I don't really see passing yards as what defines a quarterback. Because he did throw 13 interceptions last year, which is in the top half of the league in interceptions. And also, you could say this about Tannehill too. I know my background, but his running backs did a lot of the work throughout the season.
All of the work.
Getting him to the playoffs. And
All
I
of
feel
the
like
work.
I feel like
carried
in
them
the
to the
Super
divisional
Bowl,
rounds.
in the Super Bowl when
the
he
Super Bowl.
needed to make a play, he didn't. He did not make a play in the Super Bowl.
Hey, Bubba.
He did choke in the
Mhm.
4th.
I'm just saying, if the Titans would have made the Super Bowl, that would have been the most running we've seen since Super Bowl 1.
Yes, it probably
Nick.
would have been. And if the Titans won, I wouldn't even be mad. I'd be elated.
All I'm saying is for my number 2, I'm about to sound like that guy on TikTok. I've been winding up this all night. I've been winding up this all night.
That's why I did it.
So can I move on to my guy?
You knew I was gonna do it. You knew it.
You can, yes, you can. I'm
Okay.
done.
I go.
So Josh Norman, in 2016, he signed one of the richest QB deals or cornerback deals in history 5 years, $75 million.
Yes.
Over his career, he has 14 interceptions. Not for a cornerback, that's questionable at best. Last season, he had 1 interception, 40 combined tackles, first sack of his career. But I mean, hey, whatever. It's just a sack. And I feel like not even last year, but I felt like through his career, he has always been like one of the hyped up as one of the best cornerbacks in the league. But he always just like hypes himself up before the season, and then as soon as the season hits, you don't hear a word about him. And now he's on the Buffalo Bills. I just want to mention.
Which?
I don't know.
But on a very cheap deal. On a very cheap deal.
I'm like a
Not-
1 year,
it
7
was.
mil, I
It's not a
think it
big
is.
contract. I would say that he's overrated, but since he was on the Redskins and he did horrible there, I was gonna put him on my list. I thought about maybe putting him at 4 or 5, but I feel like he's just faded out. I mean, I think it's a good deal for the Bills. I mean,
Yeah.
if he does start to do better, it's a really good deal for the Bills.
Yeah.
But
Another thing is he didn't even the Redskins out of everybody, the Redskins released him before he could complete his 5 year, $75 million deal. He only played 4 of the 5 years.
the Redskins even they got Albert Hainsworth.
I just feel like Norman didn't fit the Redskins.
It didn't seem like he fit their defensive style. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe with Ron Rivera coming back this year, he might have had some like revival there, but I don't.
I mean,
I
I
don't
think he's going to improve this year with his defensive corner he had when he was actually like considered an elite corner.
Yeah, and this is his 9th year in the league, so he's not coming to his tail end, but he's kind of coming. I think he's like 30. How old is he? It is.
He's going to battle for the number 2 corner. I don't know how he will be, but
Yeah, he's like 30ish. 30ish right.
I mean,
So,
based on his last 2 seasons, my guy shouldn't even be like a number 3 corner. Like, I mean, I hope that he, shows himself. 'Cause he was one of the best corners in the league at the point, but now, crazy.
yeah. So that's why I had him on my 3rd. It was kind of a surprise pick. I know not a lot of people have him in their top 5 probably because he's not really a relevant player anymore, but he's still, I feel like he's overhyped every season just to kind of not go up. So Nick, you're 3?
All right, we're throwing hands.
Sam Darnold. Okay, well, before we recorded, Joe was, yapping about, Josh Allen's stats. But then I looked up this article, and apparently Sam Darnold's facing a prove-it season, and he's avoiding becoming the next Trubisky. Because they're saying, like, Jackson won the league MVP. Allen led the Bills to the postseason last year. Baker set an NFL record for touchdown pass by rookies. But what has Darnold done?
Wait. Okay.
Honestly,
crap.
Allen did
crap.
not lead that team to the playoffs. He had the 2nd defense in the league. Let's get that right. Okay, let's get that
no,
set.
but Joe, when you look at it, okay, Jackson won MVP. Allen's in a dark horse for MVP this year. You can't even deny it. And he had a decent season last year. Everyone's saying he's dark horse for MVP.
Can I just please enlighten you with the Now we'll leave true completion percentage out of here because some of them are, but red zone completion percentage. How many quarterbacks are in the league? Starting 32. 46th in red zone completion percentage.
Right now.
Yeah, we're talking about Sam Darnold. We ain't talking about Josh Allen.
Okay, fine. 9th in pressure completion percentage. He had one of the worst offensive lines.
Okay.
14th in clean pocket completion percentage. Obviously, yes, his red zone completion percentage was 37th in the league. 32nd deep ball completion percentage, and 22 play action completion percentage with probably bottom 3rd offensive line in the league. So,
Well, I'll say one thing. He ain't even the best quarterback in his division. Even if you take out Josh Allen, I think that Ryan Fitzpatrick's better than him. You put Ryan I think you could put Ryan Fitzpatrick on the Jets, and they would go 8-8 instead of 7-9 last year.
I mean,
that is true.
I say that maybe even 9-7. They could have stuck into the playoffs.
And he was 28th in accuracy rating. But I think, obviously, staying in the division, I feel like if people are going to say Sam Darnold is overrated, you definitely have to say Josh Allen is overrated. That's just my opinion.
I say that Ryan Fitzpatrick's underrated.
I do too, Bubba. I do
What do you say
too.
about that?
2 seasons, Darnold. He was supposed to be the best quarterback in that 2018 class. 28 interceptions.
He was drafted third. What would that be? 29
everyone had
spots
him as
behind the league MVP this year.
Well, yeah, but even his team he was drafted by didn't know that he was going to be the best quarterback because they drafted their backup tight end in front of him. So they necessarily didn't know. So they
If we're
just
going
took
to
a
talk
chance on
about
him
his
because he
draft
shouldn't have been there.
class, let's just say this: poor Josh Rosen. Poor Josh Rosen.
Oh yeah,
Poor Josh
I
Rosen.
he's
mean,
bouncing
yeah.
around.
He didn't get a chance. He did not even get a chance.
I'm
I mean-
saying Sam just needs to show something.
I mean, yeah.
No,
100%.
He needs to
agree.
do something.
I agree.
No, I totally
It's
agree with
definitely a
that, Nick.
prove it
This is
season.
definitely this is a Mitchell Trubisky season for him right now. Like this is
Mitchell
either proof.
Trubisky. This is Mitchell Trubisky in 2019, and Mitchell Trubisky did not have a good 2019. So
Yeah,
let's see
so
what
like
Sam Darnold can do in 2020.
yeah. So I mean, hopefully he does good, but
100%.
I don't know. It's
I mean,
And Sam's had like rough primetime games too.
I don't think he's overrated. I mean, number one, if you subtract
Seeing
that
Ghost
See and
out there,
Ghost
man.
game, he actually threw for 19 touchdowns and 9 interceptions, which is same as Josh Allen. The supposedly I see on some people's
But we
list
can't take out the
top 10 quarterbacks.
Ghost game.
He had mono the first game and throughout the fifth game. So
hey, he needs to stop going around with these girls late at
Literally.
night.
And
Yeah.
he barely did anything against a third string Bills defense as well last season.
I mean, our team was horrible last year. I don't know how it went 7-9. I'll give him that.
Yeah, he needs to focus on his main purpose and not be going out
man.
getting mono. You
I
know,
right?
Come on.
you know.
He's
Couldn't
Maybe be
Kissing cousins,
maybe be
that's what he's
home
doing.
before 11:30 at night, and so that he can get stuff done, get a good night's rest, get his work done when he knows stuff has to be up at noon the next day. We'll move on to two.
Yeah, let's go to 2.
That's good.
Two.
I
I
like two.
already exposed my 2 is Josh Allen. I already exposed that though before, but I couldn't bottle myself in. Sorry.
Go, Ben.
I have Mr. Kissing Cousins, Kirk Cousins,
Oh.
at number 2.
Wait, don't even tell me you got Jamal at number 1. I just go on.
I
Go
have
on.
Derek Carr.
I don't have enough energy to
Wait, what'd you
defend
say?
everyone.
I said I have Derek Carr at my 2.
Okay.
I don't
At
like
number 2, I got Jadavian Clowney.
Okay.
So,
I will.
I was gonna say, do you have?
I will
you
be
have much
very
more to say
quick.
about
I will be very quick. 33rd in deep ball completion percentage, 34th in pressure completion percentage, 34th in clean pocket completion percentage. That is god awful. And his receivers separated for the 7th best in the league. His defense was the 2nd best in the league.
But who got the 29 touchdowns?
And in the playoffs, I don't think he was that much better. He showed.
He caught a receiving touchdown. Where was Darnold?
This is true.
That's true. It is true.
I mean, I am just saying that I see. I mean, no, I think he is an above average quarterback. 15 to 11 ranked. You could put him there. He does not break the top 10 yet. I definitely think he can this season. He could definitely break the top 10 with a top 15 receiver in the league. I think last season people are saying that they're pairing like a top 10 quarterback with a top 10 receiver. I don't think that is very true. There's my. I mean, I think
But
that.
He hasn't had a number 1 receiver his whole
Well,
career.
yeah. I mean, same with Sam. I mean,
No, I'm really interested to see how he does this year with
Yeah.
Stephon Diggs because
yeah,
this will
and I mean, you go first.
this will be Josh Allen's first year with a true number 1 outside receiver because he's always kind of had just like role player wide receivers.
I mean, personally, I think that what Sam and Josh are doing with really not very good offenses is actually very interesting. I mean, I find that very amazing. I mean, I think they'll both have very good seasons with better offensive lines for both teams this year. But yeah, I have to say.
Oh, definitely will be interesting. So
Definitely.
Ben,
I put Kirk Cousins on the list. Now, somebody will blast me like, oh, he got 26 touchdowns to 6 interceptions. Oh, he had 3,600 yards. Okay, I don't care about stats. Stats don't mean anything. You know what means stuff? Your record. And his record, you might say, okay, well, where was his record? There it is. He was 10-5 as a quarterback last season. Okay, that was good. But in his entire career, he is 7-29. Actually, no, this is 7-30 now because he did beat the Saints, who was a running team, but lost to the 49ers. He is 1-11-1 as a Vikings quarterback when trailing in the fourth quarter. I brought him up earlier in the video last time. He's like Ryan Fitzpatrick. Okay, when you When it's the season and he's throwing touchdown passes, he's getting yards, everything's fine. But when you're counting on him, he kind of phases out. And I feel like that's what it is. Because Ryan Fitzpatrick's like 80-20 quarterback. 80%, Ryan Fitzpatrick's fine. But when you like need him in the fourth quarter, Ryan Fitzpatrick's like, I ain't here. And I feel like that's the same with Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins ain't here.
I feel like a lot of us will have more to touch on that within the next
I mean,
number.
I feel like Ben kind of covered that. I mean,
Oh,
covered
yeah,
that well.
so
Covered that very well.
I guess I'll wait
Sure,
that
yeah,
out.
wait. All right, you go first.
So
you go. Who'd
my
you say?
number 3, Derek Carr. In 2017, he got a 5-year, $125 million deal, one of the top at the time. Since then, he hasn't really done anything. Yes, he's been injured times, but he hasn't led his team back to the playoffs. He got that deal because he was an MVP candidate and he was doing good. But still, since then, he's not done anything. Last year, he had a better year. He had 21 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, 4,000 yards. Starting to get better. They're moved to Las Vegas. Still think he's a little overhyped, but at the same time kind of underhyped because I feel like he can do good in the right system. I feel like Gruden's putting him on the same right path, but at the same time putting him on a pedestal, saying he's one of the better QBs in the league when he's really not with the numbers he puts up and with the records they put out. So
he's Captain Checkdown.
Yeah, that's the other thing. They get a bunch of big bulky tight ends there. He checks down to Jared Cook one year, then they bring in Darren Waller the next year, checks down to him. I mean,
I think that's respectful. I think people seriously look at his stats and he's like, oh my God, he's a top 10 quarterback. I'm like, no, don't even think about it.
No, because I do remember it was that 2016 season, I believe, when him and Stafford were 1-2 in the MVP race, and then I forget who ended up winning it. I want to say, did Tom win it that year? Maybe has Tom won MVP lately?
Yeah, he won 2016. 2016 he won.
I feel like
2016
Tom
he won
won
it, and then 2015 he came second. I think something like that.
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, I just remember Stafford and Carr were both were 1-2 for basically 3/4 of the season.
Yeah, no, that's right. I was seeing something. I saw Carr got like 3 MVP votes or something.
Yeah, no, it was him and
it was that one year where like Stafford got 7, Carr got 3. It was like so many people got votes that year.
And Elliott got MVP votes.
There's so many. There were like 7 different people who got votes that year.
Yeah,
but
I think
my
Carr
case
broke his leg that year too.
Yeah, that's my case for Carr too. Though. I mean, it's a justifiable case. Is he a franchise QB?
No.
Maybe. Still got a couple years to prove himself. I mean, he's 6 years. He's going his 7th year in his career. So, I mean, maybe he can boost back up in Las Vegas, reboot his career a little bit. Shows he got still some gas under his arm.
He needs to take more chances.
Yeah, I mean, he's got. That's the thing. He only got like Terrell Williams there to really take a downfield chance. They don't really give him downfield options.
Henry Ruggs might be a good addition.
Oh, Henry Ruggs, you're
100%.
right. Henry Ruggs would definitely make his game better, hopefully. So you can move on to your number 2 next.
Yeah, I picked Clowney. 2014 when he was drafted first overall, he was supposed to be like this. Like he was supposed to be one of like the best like defensive players, but he has yet to get a 10-sack season. And then last year in Seattle, he only had 3 sacks. And all of a sudden this year he's a free agent, and he asked at the beginning of the offseason for $20 million a year, and he had a 3-sack season. And
I think he had under 15 QB hits. I believe, right? Am I correct? Under 15.
Yeah.
Which interesting that you want that much money, but it's your player, not mine.
I mean, but at the same time, you can make the case he's a dominant force on the D line when it comes to it. He creates havoc, but there is some overratedness to him where he's not as good as he was once projected to be after the hit that made him go viral against Michigan when he was in college.
That was one killer
6 years. 6 years, and he hasn't gotten 10 sacks yet in the season,
which is insane.
Yeah, that's all I have to say about.
Okay, so moving on to our number 1s.
Should I speak for Nick and Andrew here?
I mean, yeah, go ahead.
I mean, Nick, you have the same player, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Let me just say it. So like, if Vikings fans, I don't want to get like
Wait.
that
I,
threat.
I actually want to.
What?
Yeah, I'll let you say something.
I
Oh, okay.
It's Kirk. So, but I think he's a good quarterback if he starts winning games with ranked teams. Okay, he's a very good quarterback.
Right here,
Please don't attack
Mr.
me.
6-29 in his career.
Time out. It's 7-30.
7
now.
and 30. Get it
7 and
right.
30.
He
Yeah,
upped the
come on,
percentage.
7-30.
Mr. 7-30 against winning teams in his career. The one and only worst QB in the NFC North, Kirk Cousins, is my number one.
Yo.
Okay, that's a little far. You can put him in front of Stafford and put him behind Stafford and Rodgers, but you can't put him in front of and behind Nick Foles and Mitchell Trubisky. I'm sorry, I can't. I gotta say it.
I mean, prime.
I mean-
Foles won a Super Bowl
Yeah,
that is true.
Nick
Foles
Foles wins
did
and
win the Super Bowl.
MVP.
You know what? I'll take Foles because Foles can win. Foles has shown that he can win those big games.
Foles can win prime time.
Foles,
I will say,
Foles actually beat the Vikings.
I have a
that
different
year.
number one because he was my number two.
All right, go ahead, Ben. We'll let
my
you say your
number one. Is Dak Prescott. I have
Oh,
Ben?
Dak
Yeah, Ben.
Prescott.
Listen, you be silly for saying Jamal because I had this whole thing wrote up. I thought you were about to say Jamal because like
Okay,
I just didn't see Jamal. I just didn't see Jamal.
Ben, go ahead and say your reason for Dak, and then I want to go off about Kurt again.
Okay, Dak Prescott. You look at the
definitely see
man.
this.
People will say he didn't lead the league in passing yards. He had a bunch of passing yards. You know who was the top 5 in passing yards? Winston, Prescott, Goff, Rivers, and Ryan. Rivers didn't get back with the same team. I wouldn't say he got released. His contract ended, but basically got released and went to the Colts. Winston's a backup now, and Goff is not a top 15 quarterback. So, and also, he went 8-8 this year. Of course, he's going to have a bunch of passing yards. He has Amari Cooper and Michael Gallup at receiver. Okay, of course he's going to have a bunch of passing
And they're
yards
getting
this year.
CD Lamb now.
And now they're getting CD Lamb. He also has. People will say that I think that he is 4 or 5 on this list, but Ezekiel Elliott a top 5 running back. Yeah, so he has the entire
100%.
offense. He's got Zach Martin, one of the best guards. Tyron, what was his name? Tyron Smith.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Tyron Smith at left tackle. So, I don't know. Of course, he's going to get a bunch of yards. He just can't win damn games. He went 8-8 this year. 2016, he won his first. Yeah, well, no, that was okay. 2016, he lost his playoff game. 2018 was when he won his first playoff game, and I think it was against the Rams, if I'm not mistaken, in 2018.
I'm not for sure. I think it was Rams made it to the Super Bowl in 2018.
Was that?
Or no,
Okay.
2019 they made it.
Who? Okay, but again, he only has one. Wait, let me see if I can find him. Okay, no, they beat the Seahawks.
Yes,
I forgot about that. And the Seahawks were kind of in a lull right then. I mean, they did get to the playoffs, but then they lost the Rams in the divisional round. That's what I'm thinking. I knew they played them, but that's what I'm gonna say about that.
So
I think that's respectable.
I think he was on my list, and then I debated with it.
That's why I said stats don't matter. You gotta win some damn games.
No, yeah,
he has not won any damn games.
Yeah, I was debating between putting him and Carr on my list. I didn't want 3 quarterbacks, so I ended up going with Carr. Probably could have easily gone with Dak. Not a big fan of him. He's a money.
Also, he wants like $40 million a damn year. Yeah. Okay, when Mahomes won a Super Bowl to get $40 million a year, Dak Prescott hasn't even got to the conference championship.
Yeah, Mahomes won MVP and Super
MVP
Bowl,
and a Super Bowl. Dak Prescott has not even. I don't even know if he's gotten MVP votes, and he has not even got to the conference round.
I'm pretty sure his rookie year he actually got like a couple votes. I think it'll be like 2 or. It was more than 2 or 3. No,
I don't remember.
His rookie year, he did. I think.
Well, he didn't win the damn MVP, so it doesn't matter.
He definitely did not win it, 100%.
Okay.
And Dak lost like all the playoff teams.
Yeah, no, that's another.
Yeah,
just like with Kurt, Dak cannot win against winning teams. He can win against the bad teams, but he cannot win against teams with winning records, and that's the issue.
I want to look at this.
Yeah,
let me look at this for a second.
People say he's good for his passing yards, but like
Passing
But like
yards,
when you're throwing in garbage time, you're gonna get easy yards.
of course you're gonna get.
I mean, in
get
in
easy yards.
in my opinion, I think Dak could be the 9th or 10th quarterback in the league, or like on everyone's top 15. I see him in some people's top 5s, and I'm like, you're smoking something. 'Cause that is not true at all.
if
He's
if
definitely
you
not a
look
top
at
5
who,
quarterback. He's definitely not a top 5 quarterback.
That's why he's on.
That's why he's
number
overrated.
one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why he's number one. I mean,
if you look at who he lost to the Saints, the Packers, he lost the Jets, not that great of a loss either. The Vikings, he lost to Kirk Cousins for God's sakes, and he's number 2 on the list. He's number 1 on your list.
Yeah.
He lost to the
that
Patriots,
that
the
game,
Bills, and the Rams.
that
he beat the Rams. I'm sorry.
that Jets game,
He lost to the Eagles.
Dak Prescott was thrown at the goddamn I was bad. He was.
So if you look at it, he's on his schedule. He only beat 2 teams with a winning record, and he only beat 1 team that went to the playoffs, and that was the Philadelphia Eagles.
That division was horrible.
And that division was horrible. They could have won that if they beat the Bears or the Bills. If they beat the Vikings, they could have gotten that position, but they didn't.
I agree with you. I agree with you on that.
Okay.
Him being number 1. He was a toss-up for my list. I mean, he didn't make it, so. But yeah, our number 1, Kirk Cousins. Man just can't win in prime time. That's all I gotta say. You can't be regarded as, you can't be saying you're the most accurate QB in NFL history. You can say that. You can say you're the second most accurate QB in NFL history. Show me the wins. Show me the wins. Where are your wins at? You can say you're the best QB in the league. I want to see the wins. The wins.
They'll flex about the win against the Saints in the playoffs last season.
A fluke.
And actually, in everyone's opinion, they have 2 top 5 duos on the defense, and linebackers, and in safeties, and in defensive line, probably they have like a top 5 and Danielle Hunter. So their defense is probably top 5 in the league, if I'm not mistaken.
And they had Stephon Diggs and Adam Thielen as their wide receivers.
The fact is that he made a receiver so upset that the receiver
left.
The trade.
He left. He said, "I ain't gonna play with this damn quarterback anymore," and he left.
I've been getting arguments on Twitter with these salty Viking fans these past few months. Trolling up that Allen's gonna overthrow Diggs every time, and they'll be like comparing Cousins' stats to Allen when Allen's only played 2 years and Cousins has been in the league for almost 10 years.
And in my opinion, Kirk has 2 number 1 receivers. He has two number 1.
Could have been the best receiver.
And now he's got Justin Jefferson,
who was
so
a third
he still
receiver.
doesn't have any excuses.
Who
Third receiver. Well, now it's Tajay Sharp.
It was Laquan Treadwell, which is probably a very forgotten
first-round
receiver.
pick.
But, yeah.
No, but
Maybe he would actually now been a bust if Kirk could throw him the damn ball. That's what I say. Everyone says Laquan Treadwell's a bust. Well, throw him the damn ball, maybe.
It's with his contract too that he got almost.
Yes.
He's getting almost $33 million a year.
Yeah. And is it even spread out in a good way?
No, it's
Like
a 2-year, $33 million.
Yeah.
Or 2 year, $66 million. Sorry.
Yeah. People are saying Tannehill's contract is horrible. He's at least it's backloaded, so they can if he does do bad, they can run him and not have many.
His deal can go 3 years, $96 million.
That's too much damn money for a quarterback that hasn't even gotten to the NFC Championship game. That's why I say.
Let's see something real fast. That's $32 million a year. I don't think Kirk Cousins deserves that kind of money. I don't think Matthew Stafford deserves that kind of money. The only people that deserve that kind of money right now are there's literally I can probably count them on my fingers.
Say it with me. Mahomes, Russell Wilson,
Jackson, Russell Wilson,
Drew
Brees, and
Tom
Mitchell
Brady.
Trubisky.
Josh
and
Ryan Tannehill.
And Mitchell Trubisky.
I think we gotta go with Tom Brady on this.
You could say Tom. You could say
a quarterback.
Not a bad choice.
Yeah, there's literally a hand. There are five QBs that probably deserves roughly over $30 million, and Kirk Cousins is not one of those. He does not put up he puts up the numbers, but he doesn't put up the wins.
Yeah, and again, like Dak, this is last year. The teams he lost to: Green Bay, Chicago, Kansas City, Seattle, Green Bay again. So like he can't beat the Packers first of all.
Wait,
Yeah,
is this
same
Kirk?
with Kurt. Kurt lost against
Yeah,
the Packers
Kirk.
twice.
Okay, no, this is Kirk. Okay. Yeah, I mean, you gotta beat the good teams. Like, yeah, you can make it to the playoffs every year with a 9-7, 10-6 record, beating up on the little teams. But then when you get in the playoffs, you gotta beat the big teams. And I mean, yeah, he did beat the Saints, but their defense stopped them. Probably one of the
Yeah,
best
and
offenses
if
to
you
only
look
20
at
points.
the box score of that Saints Vikings game, like Dalvin Cook ran like 30 times
Yeah.
and had
I mean,
2
yeah,
touchdowns.
and Thielen probably made his best play in any primetime game with that throw to. I mean, not. I meant Kirk. Probably made that best play, and
Yeah, that
then
was a good throw.
and then to some people, obviously it was like probably not a push off, but it could have been to some people. It was a questionable
I said it
call.
was push off.
Obviously, it can go either way. It wasn't like the Saints call the year before that, or it was the year before that where they got totally fucked. But actually, for this time, you know, it was questionable, but not really. I mean, it could have went either way, but definitely that was a good last drive by him. And
Yeah, Thielen carried that game because like, the Saints don't really have a number 2 corner, and I feel like Lattimore was on Diggs that game.
and
Yeah, I
that
think
de-
he
and
was.
that defense is.
Oh, yeah, the Vikings defense shut down the Saints.
I mean, yeah. I mean, they have very, very good defense. 100%.
But I guess we'll give Kirk the win for that. I guess we'll call it a clutch win.
Yeah.
I mean,
And he lost the
maybe
second game.
his first clutch win ever.
I mean, that's the first one I've seen on TV.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't know. He's not good in prime time. He's not good against winning teams. I don't personally like him. Partly also he's from Michigan State, Michigan fan, so goes hand in hand there kind of. So
And
I don't know.
and Josh Allen literally beat him in his rookie year with Kelvin Benjamin and like Andre Holmes as his receiver.
Okay,
Zay Jones.
hey, Kelvin Benjamin was good then.
Okay. He was a
Calvin
Popeye's chicken biscuit away from
Yeah.
being a tight end.
Yeah, I was gonna say he got a little chubby after a while, but
He didn't even run routes. He jogged.
Hey, you
yeah,
know what?
no, that is true.
That is true.
He did not run
He-
any routes. He literally jogged.
Yeah.
Routes. That is very
Literally
true.
didn't create any separation ever.
Yeah,
okay.
his separation had to be like a negative separation, where, like the cornerback was like always in front of him.
Yeah.
It had to.
So,
have been.
so overall on this list, do we agree that Kurt is kind of one of the most overrated
Yeah.
player in the NFL?
I mean,
Put him
yeah.
at number 2, so I agree with my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I believe him and Dak can be interchangeable. Actually, no, I'm gonna say that I didn't put Dak on my list because there's like certain spots where people put him, then he's overrated. Like if you put him as a top 5 quarterback, he's overrated. If you put him 10 through 12, he's not overrated. So it's just how
Yeah,
people's list.
I have him fighting at like near the top 10 with like
Uh-huh.
Stafford and a couple other QBs. But if Kurt moves into top 10, that's when I say yes, he's overrated. If
I
he's
know,
out
I
of
mean-
top 10,
Yeah, it's true. That's true.
if he's out of top 10, then I'm like, okay, respectable. But if he's in someone's top 10, I'm like, okay, yeah, overrated. He does not deserve to be there. But out of top 10, I totally agree with it. 12 to 15 is my range for Kurt.
Yeah, I mean,
But
I
Vikings
think.
fans will feel good comparing Kirk to like a 2-year Josh Allen. You know,
I mean,
that makes
I
them
don't
feel
like-
good about.
Vikings fans will they'll try to argue anything. They'll be like, Kurt's way better than Kyle Allen. Yeah, of course he is.
I mean,
Like they'll try to make any fight they can.
and
Yeah.
Or
personally,
they'll say,
I think that Sunday Kirk is probably one of the best quarterbacks in the league. I mean, he's going for 4 or 5 touchdowns multiple times on Sunday. Not all games
And
are
I
going to be
feel
on
like the
Sunday,
other thing
and not everyone's always. I mean, people are going to be a lot where people are going to be watching in the playoffs. So
the
obviously, I
other
can't
thing
say
that makes Kurt overrated are Vikings fans. Vikings fans make them overrated.
They're going to go down
Vikings
to the
fan-
potluck by the creek in Minnesota.
No, because what Vikings fans will do, they'll be like, Jeff Driscoll started for the Lions. They'll be like, Kirk Cousins had a way better game than Jeff Driscoll that game. Like, come on, man. Jeff Driscoll ain't shit. Like, yeah, he's a third-string quarterback against a quarterback that's been playing 8 years in the league. Of course he played better. Like, you can't make that argument there. Like, come on. And that's the arguments they'll make, except when he plays like Drew Brees.
Well, I know that Kirk Cousins is not on a Drew Brees level, but I don't think any quarterback's on a Drew Brees level.
Exactly my point.
I don't think that's a fair
Vikings
comparison.
Fans, and
I think you should compare him
partly
more
just
to Jeff
Kurt
Driscoll.
not being able to win. So I think
I'll just never forget that Vikings Bills game 2018. Kirk had 4 turnovers.
Yeah.
All right,
3
I think we're gonna end
fumbles.
off here. Anybody got anything to end off the video?
I think we've said enough.
I mean, a couple
I think
stats.
we've said enough. We've said too much.
I just forgot a stat about Josh Allen with you brought up the fumble thing. A stat popped into my head, but we could leave that. I gave
Number
him my
6, Jamal Adams.
and
Something before things get too toxic.
two missed tackles. It's like league.
Before
that's like the lowest
before
in the league.
things get too toxic,
Yeah,
we all need to
'cause
come together.
That is
hashtag free.
Hashtag free Woj.
that is the one
Yeah,
man I
hashtag
want.
free Woj.
Hashtag free Woj.
Woj doesn't deserve this.
I agree with.
Okay.
I agree with Woj. Fuck you. That's what I say.
Okay,
I agree
but
with Woj.
One thing, Woj could kill someone, and we'd be like, "Let's go, Woj!" Like
He's
that. Like
he is Adrian Wojnarowski, of course.
Even
Like our
LeBron
Lord and
tweeted.
Savior.
Even LeBron tweeted free Woj.
Yeah,
I mean, dude,
Woj,
I'm not going to get political, but I will. Donald Trump said that he could shoot somebody in the middle of Fifth Avenue, and people would still support him.
Oh my.
I think if he people say that,
Okay.
you know, so
So
I think we could say the same thing about
That's
Woj.
gonna be all for this episode. If you liked our if you liked the video, not that last part, but if you liked the video,
I think people would love that last part.
give us a like. If you want to see more from us, drop a subscribe.
not
And
condone racism.
we're on our way to 60. Yeah, I think that's all we got though.
One
So,
day I could.
Washington
we'll be.
One day.
I just want A&M should be a good video this week.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
The Washington Renegades.
some big things happened over the weekend, so we got some to talk about there.
Wait,
And then we
we're
got
talking
Bud
about
podcast on
Andrew's
Friday.
birthday.
And
Your birthday
we got Bud
bash?
podcast
Oh, yeah,
on Friday.
We
And
Andrew's,
then we got the Nick and Joe's film room.
Andrew's birthday was on Saturday, correct? Yes, Saturday was.
Yes, it was.
2 days ago.
Turned
So
20.
happy 27th birthday to my dad. And yeah,
That's
Thank
great.
you.
we just wanna.
I guess
Okay,
we time traveled 7 years, but you know what? I'm
Yeah.
good with that too. I'm good with that. That's
I
very
mean,
nice.
I'd be older than I don't know how that would work. I mean, I would be in the NFL, but you know, it is what it is.
Okay. We're ending it off there. So, see you guys next time. Bye.